Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Member of the House, the initiator of the motion, Honorable Julius Silomalema. Honorable Deputy Speaker, today's debate is about the decision of the US government to halt aid to South Africa and the response thereto. I assume, Honorable Deputy Speaker, that most of the response are expected from me, being the minister who is in charge of health at this present moment, the hardest hit sector in Trump's announcement. I'm going to try my best to take you through this whole saga so that you understand it, because I need to share information with you. Honorable Deputy Speaker, to put this debate into perspective, it will be important to outline to this House the temporal sequence of events. As we all know, President Donald Trump resumed office on the 20th of January 2025 and immediately signed far-reaching executive orders to stop PEPFAR funding to the whole world. PEPFAR, or the President's Emergency Program for AIDS Relief, was initiated by President George Bush Jr. in 2003 and has enjoyed broad bipartisan support in the US. That means it was supported by both the Republicans and the Democrats alike. Now, what is the PEPFAR's involvement in our country? South Africa has an estimated 7.8 million people who are infected with HIV. Out of the 7.8 million, a total of 5.5 million are on antiretroviral treatment. Out of the 52 districts in our country, PEPFAR selected 27 high-burden districts to operate there, and these districts are found in only 8 provinces. There is no high-burden district in the whole of Northern Cape Province. Of the 27 districts, 7 are in KZN, 5 in Eastern Cape, 4 in Gauteng, including all their 3 metros, 3 each in Northwest and Mpumalanga, 2 each in Limpopo and the Free State, and 1 in the Western Cape, which unfortunately is the metro itself that represents close to 60% of the population of Western Cape. These 27 districts have 271,606 staff working on HIV, AIDS, and TB and STIs. Please note that these diseases are still happening in all the 52 districts. Only that PEPFAR is not involved in 25 of our districts. Of the 271,606 staff members, 256,452 are paid for from our own fiscus. This leaves us with 15,154 people in those districts who are paid for by PEPFAR, and these are the persons of concern in this saga. PEPFAR funds these people through a myriad of NGOs and academics as well as health institutions. All in all, there are 150 NGOs who depend on PEPFAR. 39 of them are principal implementing agent, and the remaining are subcontracted to the 39. ARV acquisition. I want to make it clear to the House that our own government buys ARVs to the tune of 90% of all the needed ARVs. We buy them. The remaining 10% is paid for by Global Fund, which was also established 2 decades ago to fight HIV, AIDS, and malaria in the whole world. And coincidentally, our own Deputy Minister of Health, Dr. Joe Pasha, is a member of the International Board of this Global Fund. He was appointed last year. So PEPFAR funds only salaries and operational costs. ARVs are bought by us and the Global Fund. Where are we in the battle against HIV? I'm sure you are well versed with the concept of 95-95-95, which was developed by UNAIDS, which said if in any country 95% of the people know their HIV status, if those who test positive, 95% of them are put on ARVs, and if 95% of all those who are on ARVs are virally suppressed. It means you can no longer detect HIV/AIDS in their blood. When you reach that status, you are said to have eliminated HIV/AIDS as a public health threat. Not that we have eradicated it, but we have eliminated it. And we all want to be there. Now, where are we in this 95 in South Africa? We are at 96, 79, and 94. It means the first 95 we have exited it. Our problem is on the middle 95. We are still at 79, meaning there are still people who are HIV positive who are not on ARVs. On the 25th of February, at Lillian Ngoyi Health Center and Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital, we launched a huge program to find an additional 1.1 million people who must be put on ARVs, and we must find that number by the end of November this year. This is the last mile of the journey in the fight against HIV and AIDS. We dare not falter. Come Trump or high waters, we should not falter. I don't want South Africans rather to undermine the progress we've made in the fight against this scourge. And I will tell you that in the last 15 years, since we launched this world's biggest counseling, testing and treatment campaign, this is what we have achieved. We have reduced death by HIV by 51%. And in the instance, we raised life expectancy from 53 years in 2010 to 63 years in 2020. In a decade, we raised life expectancy of South Africans by 10 years. This is unprecedented, prompting one of our own global scientist, Professor Salim Karim, to say this is only equivalent to abolition of slavery. We reduced mother-to-child transmission from 0.86 to 0.39 between 2019 and 2024. Our maternal mortality, which is a global indicator of progress, was 249 maternal deaths per 100,000 live births by 2010. We have reduced it to 86 by 2020. This is tremendous achievement, but COVID-19 came to trouble us, and we went down up to 120. We are now back in 2024 to 109. Now you can see this is a massive achievement. In 2010, a total of 25,858 babies were born HIV positive. This is called mother-to-child transmission. By 2020, we had dramatically reduced it to 7,640. That's a whooping 70% reduction in mother-to-child transmission. In 2015, we reduced TB by 56%, the instance of TB. Now, this achievement, honorable members, did not roll in on wheels of inevitability. We had to work hard on them. And I want to beg you that don't let it slip back. Don't allow South Africa to go back where it was. And I believe this debate, Honorable Malema, is to try and find a way to achieve that. We have redeployed staff in our provinces to areas of high burden. We have initiated task shifting. We encourage as many patients as possible to take their drugs for 3 months rather than 1 month. We even want to increase it to 6 months. In the meantime, we've met many funders: the Child Clinton Health Access Initiative, Elmer Foundation, Gates Foundation, Foreign and Commonwealth Development Office of the UK, our own First Strand, the trustees of Solidarity Fund, not the solidarity that ran to Trump, but the Solidarity Fund established during COVID. I want to emphasize to you that there is no government or funder in the world that has put money aside waiting for Trump to explode. That's why we meet them, but none of them will say, I give you this much. Now, I believe then Trump doesn't owe us any cent. Trump doesn't owe South Africa any cent whatsoever. And for that reason, we need to stand on our own. We must not waste this crisis. For that reason, Honorable Malema, I am challenging this House. Can we call a debate, to come a debate and debate in this House? Why? All of us here, including all well-to-do South Africans who are on medical aid, why are we still getting heavy subsidies to stay on private medical aid? Is it fair? Should we be doing that during this difficult moment? In my language, the literal translation means during tough times, children of the same mother can survive by sharing a head of a locust. So, Akpare Malema, allow me to put it in Afrikaans to you. I know you and me don't know anything about Afrikaans, but I learned a little bit of it in Stutolwane. Mag ons voortgaan.
Honorable Minister.
Mag ons voortgaan. En hierdie self al dinge so sleg is. Dit moet nie 'n kwessie van wie die kragtig is nie. Dit moet 'n kwessie van as ons saam met die armes or praat ons net. Honorable Speaker, I hope that we did not call this session just to bash Trump. It won't help, believe you me. We are on our own, and for that reason, I am concluding by saying, please, let's call a session. Should me and you and all the well-to-do South Africans paid for by the state, should we keep on dragging heavy subsidies to stay on private medical aid? Or should we do something about it? This calls for a debate. I hope Action South Africa among the parties will support this call.
Minister, your time has
because
expired.
One of their members, Dr. Letape, as the president
Honorable
of the Professions
Minister,
Council,
your time has expired.
used to support this call. Thank you very much.